Warning, this video may contain spoilers for late parts in the game. If you plan on playing this at some point, turn back now. You have been warned. Alright, CR here, back to finish off my Minish Cap series with my top 5 favorite bosses. I do have to say, there are only 6 bosses in this game, so I won't be doing an honorable mention segment. Without further ado, let's get into the list. I really like this boss for the look alone. You have to admit that it's pretty damn cool. Nothing crazy with this boss, as it's pretty damn simple, needing to flip its rock crust in order to knock it out, then scaling its head to attack its weakness. Simple stuff, but sometimes simple is good. As the first boss in this game, needing to set the mood, this hits perfectly. Not at all hard or anything special moveset wise, just a choo-choo that happens to be normal size while you are tiny sized. Like the Kingdom Hearts boss video, I like this more or less for the surprise factor when I first encountered it, as normal green choo-choos really aren't difficult at all to beat, but this one can sure deal a mean head slam with your short amount of life. As we've seen from many games, fighting one boss is usually no problem. Fighting 2, however, is definitely not something you want to deal with. Again, not an extremely hard boss, although I did die. The way you fight it is really interesting, using essentially the Master Sword of this game, which has the power to split the user into the amount of elements they've collected, which at the point of this boss you have 3, meaning you can split into 3 lanes. At certain points, you will also need to make use of the Rock's Cape in order to jump over the small Georgs that spawn, as well as between the couple of side blue guys that attack you. A simple boss, but has a little extra to it. Vaati can absolutely suck the fattest nut possible in my book. In all honesty, he's not ridiculously hard, but he is annoying, especially in his 3rd form. I do like the fact that you end up using a couple skills that you've learned throughout the game in order to defeat him. I've always particularly liked bosses with multiple forms as well, so as you can tell, this boss is right up my alley. There's a couple things during this boss fight, but is overall kind of cool. In his 1st form, right when it starts up, you don't really know what the hell you're supposed to be doing. So you go through your inventory trying different things out, which I actually like the fact that it makes you think. The 2nd form requires you to make clones of yourself in a specific way to hit his eye orbs, which if you frick up, you have to wait for the next cycle. Little side note, like most final bosses, if you die at any point, it's back to fighting his 1st form. The 3rd form has the same shenanigans as the 2nd form with the eyes, although it makes up for it as you use more of the skills you learned throughout your time playing the game. This boss is a nice homage to an enemy that's in most Zelda games and even a multitude of games in general that I played, needing to shoot its hands, which have eyes on it, as a weak point. The kicker that this boss brings is that this time destroying its hands only stuns it, because you then need to use the Minish powers to become small and actually go inside the head to find the core and give it a few whacks. The hands come back and you do it a few more times. Why this is my favorite is due to the fact that they were actually able to give a fight that has been used many times over a little bit of an extra piece while actually being a cool addition and making sense within the context of the game that it's in. I like the bosses in this game a lot. I would say I'd like there to be more bosses or something, but I think the amount there is in the game is actually enough. If there were more, I think the game would feel a little more bloated than necessary. As always, hope you enjoyed and see you next video.